Hey, LinkedIn. I thought I would share two thoughts. One was the other night I was watching. I was watching a Wes Anderson movie. I forget what it was. It was something that I just happened to flip across and ended up watching it. And I've watched his stuff for 20 years, but it was the hotel one. Anyway, doesn't really matter. I paused the movie at some point, and I looked at this thing and I said to my wife, I said, how can this guy Wes Anderson create the same cohesive look across every single movie? And when you see his stuff, it looks distinctly like Wes Anderson. You can't mistake it. The brand of Wes Anderson is unmistakable. And when you look at every single thing, every shot, the filter he uses, the way he has characters look, and I thought, this is really kind of the gold standard for brands. This is kind of what you're trying to do, is certainly with our own brand and with other company brands, when you look at things, as much as possible, you need to be recognizable in every shot, every filter, every piece, every article of it should be recognizable. And if you can take your brand to that level where the second somebody sees it, they know it's you, or they know it's your brand, I think that's a big success. I think that's a big part of the brand. It's that sort of intangible that you can't necessarily touch or put your finger on, but you know it when you see it. So a brand is something you can feel, and I think that's super important related to branding. And then the other thing I want to comment on was something that came up recently, and I posted something on LinkedIn about it. But when you think about your content strategy and what you're doing, a lot of companies are doing a lot of things right. Obviously, doing a lot of great things. Content's better than creating no content, but I think as a company grows, certainly as a company's getting very large, you can run into a situation where people are going, I need this and I need that and I need this and I need that. And then what you end up with is kind of a hodgepodge, fragmented approach to content. Which again is fine. It's better than nothing. But if you were to look at you think about a Netflix television series and you think, geez, what should it look like? And you imagine a show being out of order, or a bunch of shows hodgepodge put together and also out of order. That would be weird and frustrating to watch. And so when you think about it a little bit more like a Netflix series and putting everything in sequence and mapping whatever journey you're working on, whether it's the employee experience journey, or it's the customer experience journey, or it's the pre-sales journey, or it's the sales enablement journey, or it's a training journey, you want to go from the end, work backward, put it all in order, in sequence, and then map out that content strategy for what you need to do. And what you're going to get is you're going to get a more methodical, more cohesive approach, and something that's easier to digest, and something that actually makes sense to the viewer and kind of helps route them along. People, I think, prefer to be routed and directed in a methodical way that doesn't feel frustrating, doesn't feel confusing, it doesn't disorient them as much as possible. So if you can do that in every area, in the pre-sale side of things, the marketing side of things, the advertising, the sales enablement, the training, all of those kinds of things, you want to be making a well-curated journey as much as you can, rather than a hodgepodge, fragmented approach. Look, again, having content's better than nothing, but think about it a little bit more methodical, a little bit more linear, and a little bit more in series format. All right. Any comments? Leave it below. Okay? Thanks.